Hi, welcome to Popstrology. My name is Jessie Peterson, and I am your host. Over the holidays, I was staying with my best friend in New York, and we watched season 1 of The Traitors. I had already watched season 2 last year, and we got down towards the end, especially at the reunion, and I was like, I wish I had done an astrological analysis of this. First of all, Kate from Below Deck, ultimately so iconic. But I was just like, the way that they're interacting, I want to know the astrological dynamics behind this. So when this season premiered last Thursday, I was like, I am doing astrological analyses of this season of The Traitors, and no one is going to stop me. So that's what we're doing here. Welcome to my astrological analysis of season 3 of The Traitors. Now, just a warning, there are obviously spoilers in this, so if you have not watched up through episode 4 of The Traitors, the most recent episode that came out on Thursday, January 16th, don't watch this. Go watch The Traitors first and then come back. Okay, here is our lovely Traitors cast, and here are their astrology signs. So leading the charge, we have Capricorns. There are so many Capricorns in this season, and this isn't like a random group of people. You know, there is some selection bias. These are people who have been on reality shows before, specifically like Survivor and The Challenge and Big Brother, and they have demonstrated enough fortitude in those shows to end up on The Traitors. So this is already selected for like people who are relatively diabolical. My cat wants to hang out. But yeah, I would say that Capricorns are pretty diabolical, and that's what this show is about to show us, because if you break it down into the 4 people who were selected as the traitors, which I have marked here with T's, we have 2 Capricorns, 1 Cancer, Bob the Drag Queen, and 1 Aquarius, Danielle Reyes. And for the record, I could find birthdays for everyone except Wells Adams, who does not have a birthday online that's consistent. There's like 2 dates. But I do have birthdays for all of the traitors. I don't have a reliable birth time for anyone except Dylan Efron. And so I'm not even going to think about rising signs or houses for the duration of this series. So this is a breakdown of all of the traitors' big 5 placements minus their rising sign. As you can see here, all of these people have strong Capricorn placements. Carolyn and Rob are both Capricorn suns. Rob, a terrifying person. Just his demeanor, physically, he's terrifying. He was born on Christmas, making him a Capricorn. He has a Virgo moon, which is very scary. He has a Capricorn Mercury, a Scorpio Venus, which I've talked about a lot as being a huge red flag, and he has a Gemini Mars. If I could create my ideal like chart for a scary person, it would probably look like this. Carolyn is also a Capricorn sun, and she has a Capricorn Mercury. And then we have Danielle, who's an Aquarius sun and did bond with Dylan Efron immediately over the fact that they're both Aquarius suns. But she has an Aries moon, which means she's fiery, and an Aries Mars. And she has this Capricorn Mercury. So she's got the Capricorn in her. And then finally, we come to Bob the Drag Queen, who is a Cancer sun, but has a Capricorn moon and a Capricorn Mars. He's all up in there. So the traitors all have strong Capricorn placements. This should tell you something. If you have Capricorns in your life, just be a little bit cautious. They know how to betray. They know how to lie. They know how to plot. They know how to scheme. And we love that. My best friend is a Capricorn, and I love her. But you have to be a little bit cautious and don't get on their bad side. This is the breakdown of the traitors' sun signs. 50% Capricorn, 25% Aquarius, 25% Cancer. And removing those, this is the breakdown of the faithfuls' sun signs. Still a majority Capricorn, even with 2 Capricorns taken away. Scary. Also, the only sign that is not represented in this cast is Libras. And Libras are, you know, stereotypically harmonic and balanced, and they like justice, and clearly those are just not traits that are appreciated on the traitors. I do think it's interesting that only one of these people is a Scorpio, and that is Nikki Bella. Just a little interesting to me. I feel like I would expect more Scorpio in here, but so episode 1, first person murdered, Dorinda. Really, really upsetting. She is so funny and such an icon, but our Sagittarius queen, Dorinda, first to go. because Tony and her got in a fight and the traitors were like, let's frame Tony, which did end up working out for them. But goodbye, Dorinda. We will miss one of our two Sagittarius. Our second Sagittarius is Wes, who came in during the second episode. And then they have the round table, and for whatever reason, they all come together and decide to banish Wells Adams, the only Taurus, which is just like, he's a Taurus, guys. You know, he's quiet and he thinks a lot and he's not like gonna rock the boat, but it's not because he's a traitor. It's because he's a bull and he likes to go out into the pasture and munch on some grass and do his own thing, and he doesn't like to cause drama. He just wants to hang out. And you guys banished him for it. And that is a crime to Tauruses everywhere. But I think that he will be okay because now he gets to go home to his hot wife, Sarah Hyland. And yeah, it sounds pretty good. He also has a Taurus Mercury, he has a Taurus Venus, and he has a Scorpio Mars. So lots of fixed energy. Like, it makes sense that he wasn't giving them the drama that they wanted and that he seemed a little too centered and a little too traitorous. Great qualities in someone, really worked against him on this show. Then that night, the traitors get together and they decide to murder Ayan from Housewives Dubai. And she was amazing. She was already upset because Wells, who was her best friend on the cast, had just gotten banished, and Dorinda had gotten banished, and Bob the drag queen is doing this whole, like, let's go after the housewives and really confuse everyone sort of thing. But Ayan, our lone Gemini, is murdered, and everyone is sad about it. And then that night, they go around the round table and they decide to banish Tony from Survivor. One of the two Virgos in the house, the other one being Britney Haynes from Big Brother. This is exactly a Wells situation. They do it again. They go for the earth sign. They go for the person who seems smart, who seems like they have their shit together, and they're wrong. He's a faithful. Sorry. As a Virgo, I felt personally attacked by this, but I also did feel like a little bit validated. Like, yeah, people do hate Virgos, but it's because we're too smart. It's because we're too good at things. It's because we seem like too put together. Sorry. Anyway, Tony was a Virgo sun with an Aquarius moon, a Virgo Mercury, a Libra Venus, and a Taurus Mars. So lots of earth going on in there. A little bit of fixed energy, a little bit of air. All the while here, Tom Sandoval, who's a Cancer, is being so insane. Just like the amount that he sweats through his t-shirts, like the way that he looks at people, the way that he looks around. Gabby Windey posted a TikTok the other day about how like her psychiatrist almost didn't clear her to go on Traitors, and all of the comments were like, how did Tom Sandoval get cleared to go on this show? And that's a great question, but I'm glad that he's there because he's providing some entertainment. He's one of three Cancers. We have him, we have Chrishell, and we have Bob the drag queen. Speaking of Bob the drag queen, we get to episode 3. They have to do this thing where the traitors all have to go into the wine cellar during the cocktail party and write 3 names down on a list inside a little coffin. And those people are shortlisted to be murdered. And then each of those 3 people, who we have Ciara, a Capricorn. I was scared. I was like, is our first Capricorn going to go down? But it didn't happen. So Ciara, who's a Capricorn, Nikki, who's our lone Scorpio, and Jeremy Collins, who is one of our 2 Aries, along with Robin from Housewives of Potomac, all have to go basically be buried alive in these coffins. And then the traitors creep out there in the night and they decide who to murder, and they decide to murder Jeremy. So there goes one half of our Aries population. Robin is our lone holdout for this cardinal fire sign. And then Bob the drag queen, being Bob the drag queen, during the challenge the next day says, you know, we all think that one of the new guys, being the 3 guys that came in late, Boston Rob, Wes Bergman, and Derrick Levasseur, is a traitor. And Rob is like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, you are messing up my game. So Boston Rob goes on this thing where he's like, I'm going to get Bob the drag queen, a fellow traitor, banished tonight. Everyone needs blood and he's coming for me. So They go around the round table, and Boston Rob is able to convince people that Bob the drag queen is a traitor. And of course, he is, as Rob would know because he is also a traitor. And there's like a split vote between some people think it's Ciara, some people think that it's Nikki, and then most people think that it's Bob the drag queen. And it comes out he is a traitor. Everyone's so happy. They got blood. So there goes one of our cancers and our first traitor, Bob the drag queen. A crying shame. Great outfits, great presents. You will be missed. And so we are down to just two cancers. We have Chrishell and Tom Sandoval, who hate each other, but that's very Cancerian of them, I would say. And I've showed this a little bit before, but Bob the drag queen is a Cancer sun with a Capricorn moon, a Cancer Mercury, a Leo Venus, and a Capricorn Mars. So that's what we're up to now. So for the murdered sun signs, we have one Sagittarius, one Gemini, and one Aries. Two immutable signs, one cardinal sign, two fire signs, one air sign. A little bit of a mix, but it is interesting to me that we have both of these mutable signs and they're both housewives. Clearly, mutable signs are a plus for being a housewife. I think SLC has like mostly Sagittarius, as I know at least Meredith Marks and Lisa Barlow are Sagittariuses. Great. I have 3 mutable signs. Maybe I should be on The Real Housewives. I'm a lesbian. Do they let those people on? Do they let us on? Do I have to be married to a man? And then the people that the group has decided to banish, we have one Virgo, one Taurus, and one Cancer. 2 earth signs, 1 water sign, 1 mutable sign, 1 fixed sign, 1 cardinal sign, a little bit of everything. So that's where we're at for now. I am really excited to get more into this. This has been a very high level overview, but once we get down to fewer people, there's still more than 15 people here. It's hard to do like an actual like wheel birth chart comparison of the dynamics. But once we get down to fewer people and we've seen how they interact more and more, I'm excited to get into aspects and how their dynamics work together. But Boston Rob is in danger because Wes said at the end of the episode, how do you know that someone is 100% a traitor if you're a traitor as well? So we'll see. Will Wes get murdered? Will Boston Rob get banished? We will see next time. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you later. Bye.